Ambassador Stacey Renate here, and I'm so excited. Actually, tonight I'm really excited because we get to learn a little bit more about the techie side of filling out our schedules. Now, tonight we have the pleasure of having our amazing second ambassador here in Australia, Katrina Naylor, who's going to take us through this. Now, this is her thing, right? And I know I got to learn it, and I'm very excited for everybody else to learn it as well. So I've got this recorded, but before we go ahead and do so, we're going to make sure, we do the right thing by Kat and advise everybody that's on the line that's never ever been trained by Kat before, never met her before. She's an amazing woman, and she's also the second ambassador in Australia with her partner, business partner, Tanya Bristow. Now, they're both Diplomat Challenger winners and have earned the right to receive a fantastic leadership award at the convention this year in April. They're an instrumental part of the growth here in Australia and the New Zealand market, and Katrina has 15 years consulting background in the mining and construction industry, which also includes the fly in, fly out, FIFO life, right? Now, Kat is absolutely determined to leave a legacy and show others the right vehicle like GWT so that they can create a fantastic lifestyle of their own choice as well. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it straight over to Kat. Kat, are you there?
Hey Stacey, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from. Thank you for allowing me the space to present tonight's topic to you. And the funny thing is I'm doing a bit of techie stuff, but I've had issues with my techie stuff. So I was having problems with my internet. So hopefully it stays connected for you guys tonight. Basically, what we're going to go through is how to set up your Google Calendar. Now, we know we did a workshop on Saturday, and a lot of us were doing pens and paper, which is good for initial visual, but as anything with this business, we're on the go, where we want to be as mobile as possible. So Google Calendar is a perfect tool that can link not only on your phone, but also on your computer. You can access it anywhere in the world, and it's live. So any changes, automatically, all of your devices will update. So I guess the first thing here is I'm not going to assume that everybody has a Gmail account or a Google Calendar. So if you are in front of your computers right now, or if you're on your phones, oh, excuse me, you can, I'll step you through this process. So we'll go back to basics, and that's step one, how you can actually register and have a Gmail account. So if you go into your web browser, so hopefully you guys can all see my screen. This is being recorded, so those that aren't in front of a computer, you'll be able to watch this afterwards. But basically you want to go to the Google homepage. So obviously www.google.com.au, which will bring up this screen. Now, what you want to do is you want to create an account. So if you don't have an account already, what you want to do is you want to go up to the top where it says Mail, and if you click on Mail up on the top right-hand side, this is automatically, sorry, this is going to log me straight in. Apologies. I'll go to sign out. Apologies for that. Hang on 2 seconds. So basically here, it'll come up with creating an account. So just to give you an example, if I was to do add account, you can go to create account, and you can follow this step and create a brand new account. So hopefully I haven't lost anyone there. I've got multiple Gmail accounts, hence why it logged me straight into my email. So I'll just go back a step. So once you've created an account, you'll have a Gmail account, and once you're logged in, I'll just go back. So whenever you go to google.com.au, if you're logged in on your, oops, it would help if I actually typed it correctly. Whenever you go to this Google home screen, your functions are going to be up on the top right-hand side. Okay, on the top right-hand side, hopefully you guys can all see that. So if you click on these 9 little squares that are in the top right-hand corner, it's got a drop-down. Now that drop-down menu has a whole bunch of things in there which are linked, which you basically are linked to your Gmail account. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go down to calendar. So you can see here there's a calendar function. Now if you click on calendar, I told you I've got quite a few accounts. So I'm going to open the account where I've set up my schedule for GWT. So that's my katrina.naylor@gmail.com. So if I just click on that, it'll ask me for my password. Whoops, I'm doing well tonight, guys. See, the techie one is doing well. All right, so that'll log me in. So it'll open up your calendar. Now, don't get any alarm bells. Obviously, this calendar has got a lot of personal stuff in it, as well as my job, as well as my GWT commitments to the business. So basically, what you guys will see is probably a blank screen. What I'm going to do actually is I'll open up one of my other accounts where I don't have my calendar active, just so I can give you an idea. I can give you an example of a calendar. Sorry, just bear with me. Oops. I'll open up this other one. So I'll have a blank canvas just so you guys can see. So this is the calendar that's opening up at the moment. You can see is blank, okay? The other one that I had open is the one that I've already set up. So basically, if you want to set up your schedule, you know, the first thing that we say is to put in all of your priorities. Now, your priorities are what's going on in your life right now. So you've got family time, anything that you do personally for your health and well-being, any of your commitments to your job. We say to put all of that in your calendar first. So then you actually start to look at the time that you have available, and then you put GWT in within that time within reason, right? That's how we work out how many hours we have to commit to this business. Now this is really powerful, doing your schedules, especially when you're bringing a new person into the business. When you bring a new person into the business, you want to be able to show them that if they've only got 5, or what they think they have, which is 5 hours a week, that you can actually put that into their schedule, and it's locked in, and you can make sure that in those 5 hours it's going to be income producing activity. So if we just flick back across to this one that I've already created, you'll see here, you know, in the red, this is a lot of my personal stuff. So you guys can see tomorrow I'm getting my hair done at 9:15 to 11 in between my job. So, you know, put in all your personal stuff. The color coding is completely up to you guys, and I'll show you how to do the color coding. But basically, if I wanted to create, let's say tomorrow, so that's Thursday. So if you see here, Thursday, I can click on it up the top. Say I have an appointment at 5 p.m. I would double click in here. This is one way you can do it. I can double click in there, and it will bring up this new screen, which is your event. So let's say I was having coffee. Let's just say coffee, Stacey. I can just put that in as the heading. The time is 5 o'clock tomorrow, the 28th. Hopefully you guys are following me. And here I can put my location. So let's say I'm going to Riffos, which is just near my house. You can see that it automatically in Google, it will bring up the address, which is kind of cool. If it identifies the place, so you can click on that. Here you can put whether there's a calendar that you want to link it to. So like I said, I've got quite a few in here, but I'll keep it as Katrina. So the description, Stacey and I might be catching up for coffee, and it might actually be on a friendship level, not a business level. We always say we need to do more fun stuff, so let's just put friendship fun. And then the color coding here is for my personal stuff. I put it in red. Now the reason I put mine in red is because these are the things that are important to me, and that's my priorities. That's the things that I need to get done for myself. So red it is. And then you can select here whether you want to get notifications. So you can get email notifications if you like, and also SMS, notifications on your phone. Or you can delete these if you want. So it's completely up to you. Down the bottom, what I'll go through just in here is visibility is really important, and this is probably a function that we're all going to use going forward when we want to share our calendars with our business partners. Now, when you put an event in your calendar, you can choose as a default, so it'll basically show to anybody who is going to see your calendar. If you're going to make your calendar public, or you can actually make it private. Now, because this is a private catch up with Stacey, I would click private, okay? And basically in there, it means if I share my calendar with anyone, they'll see that I'm not available in that time space because it's private, so they won't have any of the details of what I'm actually doing. You can also choose here, show me as available or busy. So if you're actually sharing your calendar with people, say that coffee, I'm saying busy because I've blocked that time out. When you show available, it means you've got an appointment there, but you're kind of flexible. But you've put it in your calendar just so you know that time slot has been blocked out. Now, the other cool thing that you can do here is you can actually add guests. So you'll see here there's a guest function. So on here, you can actually enter your guest's email. So I can send an email to Stacey, so it automatically recognizes her from my email. So I add Stacey there, and she will get an invite, and she can click accept, and then it will automatically put it in her calendar. Now, the cool thing is if I need to cancel this appointment, I can go in and delete it or cancel it, and it will automatically upload into her calendar that it's been deleted. She'll get a notification to say that I've cancelled it, and she doesn't need to worry about it. So I'll put Stacey in there. The other thing is you can actually have the functions up here just underneath the date and time. You can actually have a repeat function. So say Stacey and I wanted to catch up every Thursday at 5 p.m. for coffee. It's a very late time to have coffee, but we're just going with that for now. We can actually put it on repeat. So we can say that every week, so weekly, we want to catch up on a Thursday, and this is just going to be ongoing until we delete it from the calendar. Or we could choose to repeat. So for the next 4 weeks, we could catch up because Stacey's in town for 4 weeks in a row, so that we know that we want to catch up, and then the meeting will disappear from the calendar. It's completely up to you what you want to do. You can change this to daily, every weekday, etc. So you can see here that there's a range of functions that you can choose to be on repeat. Now, we won't do a repeat, so I'll just save this. So it'll ask you if you want to send the invitation to your guests. So we'll say, yep, so send. So Stacey will actually receive an email and a notification that I've invited her to an event. You can see here at 5 p.m. it's in my calendar. So on Stacey's end, she'll accept, and then, yeah, it's locked in. So that's the cool thing that you can do. You can start to actually send these invites to, people within your team. If you're going to have a Zoom call or, a training call with your team, you can set this in your calendar, send it to them, so it automatically goes in to their calendars, and there's no confusion over, when we were going to have a meeting. The other cool thing is because it's live and it's based on your login on your computer, you don't have to worry about the time difference. Basically, if you wanted to invite, let's say we wanted to invite Ronan, who's over in Israel at the moment, we wouldn't need to worry about the time difference from our end. It'll automatically show on his calendar if he's got his set up for Israeli time. So when he opens, it'll be on his time zone. But in our calendar, it'll be as per this, which is 5 p.m. So hopefully I haven't lost anybody. As I said, this will be recorded, so hopefully you guys are keeping up with me. So just to give you an idea, so just with this one, I'm going to delete this now so Stacey doesn't rock up at 5 o'clock tomorrow to have coffee with me. You can do delete and update guests. So Stacey will get a notification. So we'll just go back. You can, up the top, you can see that you've got the views. So at the moment it's on daily view. You can choose weekly, so it'll show a week. You can have monthly view, so you can see for your month, 4-day view. And the other cool function that it has is an agenda. So if you click on agenda, it'll actually show you each day. It'll give you a list, which is super cool, especially if you want to print that out, and you can actually print it off and have it handy with you if you're a paper and pens person. I'll let you in on a little secret. Stacey was a pens and paper person until I showed her this, and now she's fallen in love with Google Calendar because of its functions. So hopefully you guys can see the value in it for your team, and how we can all coordinate collectively together, you know, with a lot of our meetings that we're having. And as we grow, obviously the meetings are going to become more and more. So what I'll show you now is on our weekly calendar, you'll see, you know, today is highlighted in a grey kind of colour. Hopefully you guys can see that. So it'll actually grey out as time goes on, because that's in the past, right? So you can see here, as we work through the week, I'll just show you what I mean by the repeat function. Okay, so up on the top left here, you can see it's got the 24th to the 30th of July. So if I actually click on these arrows, it'll take me to the next week. And you can see that I actually have things on repeat. So I've blocked out time, so it's automatically in my calendar every week. I don't have to worry about putting new events in. It's just on repeat. And then I can decide to delete that at any point in time, okay? I'm just going to check the questions. Okay, I'll just check the questions, make sure that everyone has this. Okay, so Naomi, love the sharing functionality, Kat, for team members. How do you share your calendar so your team members have access to it? Cool, Naomi, I'll get to that in a second. Thanks, Jess. She said this is awesome, and that we can send meeting requests for three-way calls. Yes, you can. So this is the cool thing, right? You can start to actually use the functions in the calendar so that things don't get lost, and then the person that's receiving the invite to a meeting, it'll automatically show in their calendar that they've got a meeting request. Now, I'll give you an example of this, okay? So we'll flick to my calendar that has nothing on it, okay? So say I'll pretend to be Jess. So Jess, I'm going to pretend to be you right now. So this is your calendar. You want to do a three-way call, and let's say it's at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, okay? So see here, if I click on 7, it'll bring up a little box. But if I actually double-click in this space, it'll open this screen. So what I would do here is in the title three-way request, let's say it's 7 p.m. and we know that three-ways should go no longer than half an hour. So we change it to 7:30. So in here, the other cool thing is if you're using Zoom, guys, you can actually start to put the Zoom links in here. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly open up Zoom and I will schedule a meeting. It'll be for tomorrow on Thursday at 7 p.m. And again, I don't have to worry about the time difference. So cool. And I'll schedule that in and I'll get the link. You can actually see it'll automatically open it in Google Calendar, which is super cool as well. So what I'll do is I'll actually, without confusing the situation, I'll actually do the reverse. Sorry guys, let me change that. I'll do it from this. So automatically it will open it in your Google Calendar because there's actually a function in Zoom that allows it to automatically put it in your Google Calendar. So you can see there in the where function, it's given you the Zoom link, okay? So this is the meeting title, so we can do three-way request, okay? Now in the description, you could actually put in here details about the prospect, okay? So you could put a little blurb in there. Now, if you want to color code what your three-way calls are going to be, so let's say we'll make three-way calls request green, and let's say that I'm sending this to Stacey. So I'm requesting a three-way from Stacey, so I'll add her to this. Cool. So if I send this right now, you can see automatically in my calendar, it's pulled up from 7 to 8, three-way request. Now on Stacey's end, she will actually have a pop-up as well. Now what I'll do is I'll actually add, sorry, I'm just going to add a guest to this so I can do it from my end because I'm not sure Stacey's got hers open. Cool, all right. So what I'll do is I'll open up my other calendar that I've just invited myself. Where are we? Okay. Okay, cool. So pretending this is Stacey's calendar. So I've made the appointment in my calendar, which is green, right? And it's been automatic from Zoom. And in Stacey's calendar, you can see here it's popped up. And so she can actually open this, and she can actually, up the top here, she can say whether she's going to attend. So yes, maybe, or no. Okay, so if she says yes, she can save that, and automatically that's locked in her calendar and it's in mine. So if I change anything at all, or the three-way needs to shift time, then I can change it and it'll automatically update on Stacey's end. And if it doesn't fit with her, she can just automatically say, no, I can't attend. So then that person's not available at that time. So that's a super cool thing that you guys can do with this. So that's for three ways. So you can imagine how powerful this is to keep yourself in order. I'm trying to just touch on this as lightly as I can. I'm happy to go through this with you guys one-on-one if you're getting stuck. But basically, if you want to share your calendar, so I'm actually going to use Tanya as an example, my business partner. I've asked Tanya if she can share her calendar with me, and I've shared mine with her. That way we can start to collaborate and know what each other's doing and start to work our time in so that we can actually do more together. As you know, those that know, Tanya's very busy working at the moment, so this is going to be super cool for us to be able to match the times that we have available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick across to next week, and if you see on the left-hand side here, because Tanya has shared her calendar with me, and I'll show you how to do that, but because she shared her calendar with me, I can actually turn it off and on. So on the left-hand side here, if I click on that, that brings up Tanya's calendar for next week, right? I know she's working on a roster at the moment. So the green that's showing up shows that she's not available at those times, okay? I'll just flick this off so you can see. So that shows me when Tanya's available, when she's not available, and that's why this function is so cool. So the week before, Tanya was very busy, and so going forward, I know she's working on her next roster, so she's going to start to change things around a little bit, so because she knows what I'm going to do certain things with the GWT business. So to share your calendar, what you do is if you go into, just give me 2 seconds. I think if you go up to the right here, click the settings button, guys, and you go to settings. On here, you've got the general tab, and then if you click on calendars, which is the middle tab, you can actually share your calendar. Now, what you want to do is just looking at the top one, this is the calendar that I'm working to, which is my GWT one. Hopefully you guys can see that. So calendar, and then the first one, okay? Now it's got sharing over here on the right, okay? Now you can do edit settings. Now under edit settings, you can see here, I've actually shared my calendar with Tanya, and I've actually shared my calendar with Dave and Jess. They're lucky enough to be bombarded with my calendar, but they can turn it on and off at any time, okay? So all you need to do in here is type in the person's email address. Now, just so you know, it doesn't need to be a Gmail address specifically if people are using other applications, but Gmail is the most, I find it the most universal. So just as an example, I could share this with Stacey, so I can share my calendar with her, right? Now here, it gives me a drop down, and I can actually decide what she can see. So she can either make changes and manage the sharing of my calendar, she can make changes to events, or she can see all the event details, or I might choose just to show her when I'm free and busy, okay? So she won't get any of my details. She'll only know if I'm free or I'm busy, okay? So what I'll do is I'll actually put in my other account so I can show you on here. The beauty of having multiple email addresses. So I'm going to say that that I can just see that I'm free or busy. So if I go back to this calendar, I think I just need to refresh. You can see here on the drop down, I've shared my calendar with my other email address. So it just shows there how busy I am, right? And I can turn that on and off at any point in time. Hopefully I haven't lost you guys. There's a lot to kind of take in. I'll just check the questions again. How do you add other devices like iPad and iPhone? Okay, cool. So this is really cool. I can't show you on the computer, but if you go into your app store, so what I'll do is I'll pull up I'll just show you guys. So if you want to go, if you've got an Apple, you go to your iTunes, your Apple store, and this is what you're looking for, Google Calendar, okay? And so you would download this app, and you basically are signing in with your Gmail address, okay? So that's the app that you would use on your phone, and it automatically links to your Gmail, and it's constantly live. So from your phone or your iPad, you can create events. You don't need to be on your computer, okay? You don't need to be on your computer, which is cool. So you can create events from that, and you can invite people, etc. I'm happy, again, I can show you guys how to do that. If you've got an Android, which is what I do, same deal, same app, go to your Google Play, download this calendar, sign in with your, it's giving me all these notifications that I've got meetings soon. So yeah, so that's all you do. You download that and it just automatically links, guys. So yeah, hopefully I've covered enough for you guys tonight. We have come up to 8:30, so I want to honour everybody's time. If, you know, I'm happy to do another workshop on this and start to go through a little bit more about the calendars in general. You know, there's not much that you can stuff up. You know, you can just play around with it and, yeah, to just have some fun. I know that Stacey was a bit overwhelmed when I first showed her, and now she's a gun. Now she is all over it, and like me has OCD, although she's probably not liking the colours on my calendar right now. But yeah, guys, play with it, have some fun, really look at the functionalities and how this can make your life easier, and it can make the lives of your team easier. And I know that this is what we really want to use. Like, I know for me personally, I would love to see everybody having this functionality to make their lives easier. So I'll hand back over to Stacey, and yeah, if there's any questions, then let me know, and I'm happy to go through them.
Fantastic, Kat. Yes, yes, yes. This is exactly what we need in our life. I know when I first saw it, and yeah, it was pretty daunting, but you know, once you got the hang of it, is exactly like what Katrina was saying. It was really, really simple, and you just, I mean, me, I have a, you know, like, I'm so old school when it comes to paper and colors and highlighters and stuff like that. But then when I looked at the bigger scheme of things, you know, it was a lot easier for me to access it through my iPhone or access it anywhere for that matter, you know, and I knew exactly what I was doing, especially on my iPhone, which I like the most. Yes, we do have a hand up, and it's from Henry. So I'm going to unmute Henry, and let's hear from Henry. Henry, if you're there, can you unmute your line at your end and then ask your question? Are you there, Henry? If you can hear us, what I'll do is I'll have a look at some of the comments, and hopefully you can find that mute button. If you're on your iPad, I'm assuming that it's going to be on the left-hand side where it's the microphone sign is. Just click that button, and when we hear you come in, then we can get you to ask your question. But in the meantime, I've just got some comments on here. You know, we've got Jess, she's woohooing over there and in Kalgoorlie. Trevina saying awesome stuff. Kat, everybody needs this. Naomi is also saying, wow, amazing, Kat, thank you so much. We'll be implementing this ASAP. Now, knowing that how much work, Naomi's doing and being a full-time worker as well, this will help her out to be able to schedule, and I'm sure with her growing team, this is going to be able to, really lock in the time management, because it's extremely important, especially when you're working a full-time job. So Henry, are you there?
Hello?
Hey Henry, how you going? Oh, do you want to push that mute button again?
Yeah? Hello?
There we go. Hi, there you go. You can ask a question now.
Did I press in for the question? I hadn't. No, it's full on now. I need to go over this again. This is recorded, right? Hello?
Yeah, Henry.
Yes, certainly. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I can go back over it again. I should have my my laptop on, but then I cannot handle two of them.
Yeah, Henry.
All right, no, that was very, very good. Yeah.
Henry, I can spend some time with you, and we can set you up. That's not a problem. Happy.
Okay, because that's what I need to do. I need to have a schedule.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. I think that is what my problem is, I think. So, well, thank you so much, Kat.
Thanks, Henry.
Yeah,
Hey,
appreciate that very much. Good night, darling.
Guys, can I just reiterate, getting this up and running is one thing, but then identifying the gaps you have in your day. When we did this workshop on Saturday, I'll be the first to admit, I've got so much time on my hands, and so having your schedule is really powerful for you. And then as soon as you're starting to build a team, being able to show your team this and being able to get them to implement it is just so powerful. And it's, when people get, the first thing that people ask, and I've had three-way calls the last week, and the first thing, and last night someone said, how many hours do I need to put into this business? So this is, it's such a powerful tool to be able to set the baseline for people when they get started.
I actually couldn't agree more. It's one of the things that we all miss. We all say that we're busy, we're doing work, we're doing this, we're doing that for our business, but in reality, we're not actually doing it, and it's a big slap on the face. I know a lot of people who had that at the workshop when we were there at Trevina's place. I know even when I went through my own schedule, it was an eye-opener for me, because I was thinking, well, the time that I thought I was working, I actually wasn't. So, you're going to get some time with obviously you're going to get some time with your upline to be able to assist you with filling out your schedule properly. Like if you're a part-timer, going with the 8 categories of distributorship, if you're a part-timer, you should be spending at least 25 hours in your business throughout the whole week. Now, 25 hours seems like a lot, but when you space it across the 7 days that you have and filling in the gaps, you actually come to find that you've got more hours to do your business. But you want to make sure that you really, really keep it down to, 25 hours, and making sure that you are actually putting in, the right amount of time for doing, belly-to-belly work or working in your local market, making sure you're putting in time for social media, whether you're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so on and so forth. And then you're also putting in time for your team support, because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your team. You wouldn't be where you are if it wasn't for your team, because you obviously want to help them. You're launching BDMs, and that's because you want to help people as well. So when you get the hang of it, this is going to be a little, I'm glad that this is recorded, because once you get the hang of it, this is something that you as a sponsor will need to duplicate with your downlines, because they're going to get confused as well. So if you're stuck in that place of, well, I haven't got a schedule yet, I need to get my A into D, my ass into gear, and really sort my schedule out. Make sure you've got the fundamentals down. You've got your priorities, which are you know, your work, your job, or you know, your family, you know, whether you're doing personal development or you're working on your health, and then you lock out GWT and work around that. So I hope tonight's training, again, it is a little bit fast and a bit full on, but that's what the recording's for. You know, do pen and paper first and then get to doing the Google calendars. I know it helped me out a lot, and I know everybody at the workshop that attended did the exact same thing, and now they have a clear view of what they need to do. It's going to be really simple for them to be able to get into Google Calendar and be able to lock in their times and share it with the people they want to share it with. So that's it for tonight. Thank you so much, Kat. I really, really appreciate it. I'm sure everybody else does too. Everybody else is saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And we look forward to seeing everybody else on next week's call. And next week's call is going to be exciting. I'm not going to tell you who's going to be on there, but just make sure you're on there. So anyways, that's it. I'm your friend Stacey Renata, an ambassador with Global Wealth Trade. That's us for tonight. Good night.